Welcome to another weekend here on the platform. My name is Sam Omashe. My column this week will be read to you shortly.
The story of a revolution can be strange. Sometimes it can start because of pepper, like the Yoruba wars that changed the face of the tribe, even some say Nigeria, forever. Bread can provoke it, as in the rumble of the French Revolution that capsized the history of Europe and even civilization. Nor is the meaning of revolution so easy to understand. When a mere coup happens, or when a king dies, some say it is enough to pass that definitional muster. Yet on few occasions in history do actors in a revolution know they are fermenting a fundamental change. They tend, as historian David Thompson noted, to pursue a narrow goal, maybe to bring down the price of bread, as in the French turbulence. But they end up winning the big prize, which is a change of system. When they start, the players expect to attain a goal. In their lifetime, they achieve a second, but history proves they have accomplished a third. Such is the facile virtue of human life.
The Big Talk segment is with former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Osoba. Now let us move into the terrain of politics. There was one interview granted by an organization called the Niche. They interviewed Professor Anya O. Anya, who was a member of what you describe as the Committee for Unity and Understanding. They called it the Council for Unity and Understanding.
I don't the truth. But it's CUU.
He made an assertion which I thought I would see in battle lines. I don't know if you are aware of this. He said, during the early days of June 12, since the CUU, the Council or Committee for Unity and Understanding,
maybe I think it's committee, not council,
translated into NADECO, and it became, a body for so many people started coming in. The unity, the CUU itself was what they call a handshake across the Niger between the Yoruba and the Igbo, and then the people from Middle Belt, T.Y. Danjuma, and so on, Tan Suleiman, and so on. And he said that in the heat of the annulment of the June 12 elections, that an agreement was reached to make a statement. And when the statement was written, the non-Yorubas in the group said there should be no ultimatum, that it is not right to put an ultimatum to the military. So, but when the statement was released and published in the newspaper, that the Yorubas gathered around and made sure they put ultimatum to the military there, and it was published. So the people felt that they couldn't really trust the Yorubas, and that's how NADECO became a principally Yoruba cause. That people thought this was a Yoruba cause, as an Abiola cause, and they couldn't. So the Igbos could not trust the Yorubas and so on. This is Professor Anya O. Anya, who was also a member, and you mentioned it too, as one of those members of the CUU.
49 of us from NADECO is right. And Anya, Professor Anya is somebody I still have high respect and regard for, because silently he was a very strong member of NADECO then. Commodore Ikiwe. I'm not in the business until tomorrow. He's still the one carrying the flag of NADECO. In fact, Ato Nwankwo, on his own part, was running his own body in Enugu. There are many Igbos who believe in the cause and who fought. Yes, you are right. It's not just the Igbos that were opposed. The problem with some of our leaders is that they don't accommodate other, what I call dissenting voice. See, you and I as journalists, we are trained to respect dissenting voices. You write your column, and I always disagree at times with you, and I always discuss it with you. But I love it, and I respect what you write, and I love what your conclusion. I may not agree with your opinion, but I respect it. They are not trained to respect other people's proper opinion. This is the problem we have had. Yeah, it was right. It is not only Yoruba, not only Igbo. Many of us were opposed to the idea of giving ultimatum to the military. Many of us were opposed to the idea of even Abela declaring himself president. That they are lawyers, they should know. He can be, having gone through what Olusegun went through, which was a lie. You cannot claim to be a president if you're under a civilian, parade yourself as president, and not be charged for a criminal offense. Not only, it's not the Yoruba who decided. Many of us within the fold were against giving the military. That was the beginning of the destruction of Nadeku by Abacha. Abacha was afraid and he feared those of us who formed Nadeku, the formidable team, including original member of NEPU, one of the founding fathers of NEPU, Dabazau, was a member. He was the oldest member who signed the document for Nadeku. But when we gave the ultimatum, many of us are opposed to it. You don't give a government ultimatum, even a civilian government. Not talk of a military government. When the ultimatum, the date passed, I and others like Ezife, John Oyegu, we former governor were also having a meeting in Oyegu's house. And we went to Abela and said, before you go and declare yourself president, what are the program you have? He said, well, he named some officers in the military that were his friend who would back him. I said, Basharu, they won't come out and back you. He said, what about information? He said they have arranged radio station. That didn't come true. So that ultimatum was the first thing that punctured Nadeku as an empty barrel. Abacha, we made him to be stronger. I asked them, what are we going to do? They said they will form a man shield around Abela's house. I said, okay, fine. How would we be feeding them? How would they be doing conveniences? They said they will be rotating. When the ultimatum was given, nothing happened. When Abela declared himself the president, and he went back home, and the people went back. So he's right that it was a mistake to have given ultimatum. They were opposed. We were opposed, not just the Igbos. That's the difference. Yeah. You see, our people use more of strong words, sloganeering, and that's why we are in trouble.
Now, I haven't discussed you want to go to a very interesting part of your life story, which had to do with the June 12th thing. There are two significant individuals whose ability to survive June 12 crisis came to vindicate you. One was Sergeant Rogers. The other is Frank Kokori. There was that story that you were the one that delivered Frank Kokori to the security people. And then Sergeant Rogers also made it clear that you were enemy of the state, of the military, during the interrogation by Yemi Osinbajo, the WIFO panel, and so on and so forth. Now, my own question is, how did you go through that moment of suspicion and alienation? It was quite a long period. I mean, it took a few years.
I thank God that God, something that I can say, God, one of the talents I have is fortitude. My wife used to wonder how I'm able to sleep in the face of all kinds of betrayal, disappointment and things. And I said, well, I'd like to just live through it. First of all, right from the time we formed Nadeku, my profile was the highest as one governor that stood firmly against those who wanted to cooperate June 12. The northern governors met, and Seyid Ibadan was one who read their statement that if June 12 is revisited, there will be war, and accused me, made allegation. I was the only one who replied in writing. Yes. So my profile rose so high, and the problem with progressives is that we always at each other's truth.
Yeah, I've been to that issue.
So then, when the day Kokori was arrested, the trouble with me is that I keep good memory, I keep good records. I now know I just been arrested. Yes. And I invited Kokori and Okupe, and we phoned Kokori and warned him that now that the head, Enaro, has been arrested, he is not the only one left to sustain the struggle. So he said he will need some reasonable fund to go to total isolation. And I made arrangement to gather all the money because at that time the economy was totally grounded. Yes. You cannot even go to bank. Yeah. And so we collected reasonable money, put it in my boot. I drove to Sulere, Nathan Street, the area they were living. I went to my cousin's house in Nathan, Segun George, who was not far next street to them. He's still there. And I said they should go and call the daughter, Cordelia. And I said, Cordelia, this is the money for your father. Don't take it yet. I don't know whether we are being followed. Let us go. I drove. So Yogo and I left Cordelia to take the money later. That evening, Kokori phoned on 09010 that Cordelia had linked up with him. So my mission with Kokori was already totally completed. So there was no need for me now to still want to go, and I've now gone alone. But each time we meet Kokori, the first time we met him, it was me, Ezife, and Oyegu. I never met him alone during that struggle. And it was through Kudira that we were able to even meet Kokori. Later that night, he was lured out, I don't know, but suddenly our people started, Osoba is the one. The funny thing, part of it was, Kokori went to America after he was released and met Nadeko abroad. And when he said when he related to them what transpired and now he was arrested, I said, no. Our information is that it was Osoba. Kokori said, that's what they told me. So he said, I'm telling you, I was one arrested, and that the man who gave me up was arrested.
Fred Eno.
Both of us, he said both of them were arrested. Yes. The man who thought he was working for them, yes, who lured him out, yes, and when they arrested two of them, yes, that Osoba had nothing to do with it. He had to write a book. Yes. My conscience was clear. I was never bothered.
Yes, this is a question.
So that was the first thing, yes,
that
destroyed my relationship, mm-hmm, within the fold of the progressives, yes, within Adeco.
Yes.
Everybody started doubting my loyalty. It's part of their game. Label you with something. So thank God, I don't know whether I would have been able to go to Yoruba Nation if Kokori had died.
See, that's it.
So thank God, he was at my book launch.
Tell the story,
yes. In fact, he was to speak that day, but his brother was in hospital, and things were not going on well. He had to leave. So I thank God. It's part of my luck. In the same manner, they said
before that, sir. He said in the book that it was Fred Eno who was calling him.
Yes, who called him?
Who called him?
And he was arrested.
But Fred Eno was also arrested.
Yes.
Yes. He met Akiriade and a few others, and they was arrested before him. So was it a question of he didn't recognize the voice of Fred Eno, or they intercepted?
No, Fred Eno invited him to an hotel in Yaba.
Yes. Fred
Eno was waiting with the security people, and I think the security people also didn't trust Fred Eno. Yes. They used him. When Kokorina arrived, they now took the two of them. What Fred thought would come out of it, these people. So he got arrested as well. Yes. That was the story. Fred invited him, and he agreed to come and meet him at an hotel in Yaba. Late in the night. So when he got there, with the mind of meeting Fred Eno, whom he trusted, who was personal assistant to MKO.
Yes.
But the security will not let go, to cover up how they got Kokori. Maybe they also arrested him. And so I was maligned, and I live with it. But my wife was a fortitude, but she knew what I was going through. She was being searched every other day at 3 a.m. in the morning by Agbaje from CID Alagbo.
Yeah, there was an incident where you had to throw your
My son,
out the window
to go and do common entrance examination. We went through those trauma.
And then you had health problem too. You had to go for surgery.
I was to have done nerve root compression operation, the kind of what Babangida called radiculopathy then. Abela asked me to return to Nigeria in 1993, and the thing was getting to the point of having to lose my L45 nerve. I would have been paralyzed. So Adenake and Peter were the one who went to beg to get my passport for me to go. And this Wale Osun,
Yes, I know you took.
he was the man, because my wife couldn't travel. When I came out of the anesthesia, it was Wale Osun, the first person after 3.5-hour operation, that was by my bedside. We were that close. Why didn't he tell the story of the relationship between me and him? He's talking of 3,000 and 5,000 to Abacha. He said, I gave 5,000 to Abacha. Is 5,000 legal currency in Nigeria? How could I have donated 5,000 pounds if I was going to donate to an NGO of Abacha? When he was in detention in Ikoyi, I was going to give the wife something. It was only B. Idojaye, Senator B. Idojaye, who in his book admitted to all that I was doing for their wives when they were in detention. Even me, in hiding, I was still sending messages to them.
You were also arrested.
I was the first to be arrested, first, even before, as soon as Adeko, I was locked up in Kamsalem House. That was where they were looking for Tinubu. They were looking for him to arrest, yes. And Akeolu was Tinubu. They were looking for him. Akeolu was always taking me inside his office because he was then the commissioner of police in Kamsalem. And we talked to Asiwaju Tinubu. In fact, Tinubu and I were charged to court. For formation of Radeco. Asiwaju Tinubu, Odunowo gave us bail. They didn't allow us to exercise the bail. They took us to Alagbo. And they also charged him for joining the senators who decided to not recognize Abacha's government. He and Ebute and Abu Ibrahim. Yeah. So we are facing multiple situations. They didn't go. Okuromu was never one day even invited for discussion. It was inconsequential. Baba, this one was arrested, locked up in Club Road, Ikoyi. Papa Shulankan also was arrested, locked up in Yaba police station. Gani Daudu was arrested, locked up in Sulere police station, first in Apapa. Finally, Papa Adesola became ill, was taken to police hospital. Bolage was arrested to meet me in... Barabe Musa was arrested. You see, when some of them talk, did they go through what we went through? Military didn't see them as of importance. And that's why they see them as paper tiger, paper statement writers for media.
I will just end with the question. How do you get to be at 80, so sprightly, so young, so visible everywhere, without a crutch or anything?
There is no other secret other than the grace of the Almighty God. You see, my name was Tani Mowu before Jesus of Allah said I should be Olusegun. Tani Mowu is who, other than God, that can look after all of us. It's God's grace. All those prescriptions that if you do this, do that, you will have longevity. I don't believe in it. Secondly, one thing I know is that I cannot bear grudge. You wonder, people say, you and Ashwaju, and you know they discuss it a lot. How do I get on with Bola? How do you and Ashwaju get on? And one thing that makes me worry is that Yoruba people have a saying. They say, more ìwà fúnníwà ló máa ń mú ọ̀rẹ́ dùn. What that translates pure word for word is that when you recognize the strength of your partner and in the same vein accommodate the weaknesses of that partner, your relationship will last. These people are refused. Say what you like. They say we are with Ashwaju because he's feeling us. A kobo has never transferred between me and Ashwaju. He's still alive. But one thing is this: give it to him. He has certain attributes that we must recognize. Lagos State is the only state that has had successful succession, successful transition. I keep saying it. Lagos State is one state where cabinet are not changed just anyhow. Ralph Aregbesola was commissioner. Then the PAMSEC in his ministry became commissioner for works. We have not had more than 4 commissioners of works in 20 years. Give that to Bola Tinubu. Politically, when Obasanjo didn't wanted to destroy AD, he got Ayo Padoku, Tunade Fuye and co. And he was forming parties. And anytime I get there and I see them talking, I just leave because Bola will say, if anything leaks, he may say, Osoba, I say, well, do your thing. If the man faced Obasanjo, I've maneuvered him and formed parties underground, and by the time Obasanjo said AD was dead and we are dead, he just came out with AC. Give that to him. He has his weaknesses, but I will live with his weaknesses. I'm not beholden to him. If he's endowed in other area than me, why should I be envious? And part of the thing I don't have is envy. I don't envy people. So these are the things that we lack. I will say, until we learn to use that Yoruba adage, respect the strength of your and accommodate the weaknesses of all of us amongst ourselves, we Yoruba will always have problems. We are in this government. We have a government that's APC, in which prominent Yorubas are in. You refuse to talk to us and ask us how we can go about devolution and restructuring. And I keep insisting. They can call me any name or call any of us any name. We are not traitors or bastards of APC. In our manifesto, which is on Google, we have it in our manifesto as a policy to devolve power, to have true federalism. They should engage us as APC to implement our manifesto. And I will continue to insist, we want serving national conference, we should engage National Assembly rather than just giving newspaper interview every day. To get them, if we want the National Assembly must pass an act to set up that sovereign national conference. If you want referendum, which I also support, I support all that they are saying. But the route to it, they won't listen to me. They don't want to hear. We must go to National Assembly again to pass an act to set up the referendum. If you don't do all this, but Buhari is not a military president. If he's unwilling, why don't you go to National Assembly that has the authority and power? He's not a military president. He cannot by decree.
Stop any such.
He cannot decree a national conference. He cannot decree a referendum. But instead of engaging him, he is still, whether we like it or not, he's president for the next 4 years. Instead of abuse, let us engage him meaningfully in every way possible.
This has been a very good one, and thank you very much, the Akirogu himself, Olusegun Osoba, for being on this show.
I'm happy to survive you. You really hit me hard. with penetrating questions. Thank you very much.
Just before the program ends, this is my poem in honor of Leah Sharibu.
Did you taste Salah meat? Did you eat in thanks? Or you felt like sacrifice? An innocent toast to an abattoir of muscle men who mistake.
Thank you for watching the program today. You can catch up with my published column on www.samomashaye.com. Also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @SamOmashaye. And until next time, be good.